Well, the Obama administration is juggling three major flashpoints. The IRS targeting conservative groups. New details about how the administration handled the deadly Benghazi attacks before, during, and after they happened. Plus, the Justice Department seizure of Associated Press reporter phone records. Joining us now to talk about those issues, members of Congress from both sides of the aisle, Arizona Republican Trent Franks and Illinois Democrat Danny Davis. Gentlemen, welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Congressman Franks, I want to start with you. There has been an apology from the IRS. The president has expressed his own outrage and said Americans have a right to be angry. Are you satisfied now that we know what there is to know about this scandal?
Well, Shannon, I think there's still much to be known, but the reality is there seems to be a trend here that is very disturbing. And it's said a long time ago that when government fears its people, you have democracy and freedom. But when people fear their government, tyranny is at the door. And my great concern is that there seems to be sort of a general trend in this administration, and we need to step back as a people and as a nation and ask ourselves what the purpose of government is. And it's simply put, the first purpose of government is to protect the lives and the constitutional rights of Americans. And I would suggest to you that this administration has sort of gotten that in reverse. They've taken their eyes off of protecting the lives of Americans, and they've, in a sense, become the biggest abrogators of people's constitutional rights in recent days. So I'm very concerned, and I hope the facts are the ones that the things that we focus on, and we don't try to carry it in ways that do not represent reality. But I will tell you, when people ask me, does this go any higher, I don't know what the president knew and what he didn't know. Here's what I do know, that this president has sort of expressed an attitude of, well, I know what's best. I'll do, whether it's health care or the Benghazi thing, or the IRS situation, or the taking the records of AP, or any of those things. It seems like he's saying, listen, government knows best. You just sit there and don't worry about it. And I think that's a really dangerous attitude, and I think it somehow foments some of these things that are now coming to be manifest.
Congressman Davis, I want to give you a chance to respond to that criticism, but first I want to ask you, do you share the concern, as some of your other Democrat colleagues do, that regardless of what your political viewpoints, all Americans should be worried if the IRS is going to single people out based on any particular political ideology?
Well, I don't think there ought to be that much worry about the IRS, because we now have control of the situation. The real deal, and I think the last thing that you could call this government or this administration coming from the White House, is tyrannical. As a matter of fact, what is really clear is that there were not enough management controls in place at the Internal Revenue Service. You had high-level officials making decisions without vetting those decisions with any superiors, and so they were off doing things in response to situations that occurred that they never should have been able to do without actually getting clearance in the first place. And so I think the situation now is well understood, and you're going to see more training. You're going to see more direct interaction with superiors, and I don't think we'll have that. Plus, everything that the Inspector General has found suggests that this was not politically motivated in terms of any kind of conspiracy. These were management people who thought they saw some trends developing and were trying to make sure that they did not make mistakes, and that's exactly what they did. Some of them have already been relieved or have already left the agency. Others will in all probability be leaving. So I think that it was out of control, but we're going to be in charge of it now, and that's not going to happen again.
All right, gentlemen, we are almost out of time, so I want to very quickly have you both answer this question. Congressman Davis, you alluded to some of this. Who do you think should investigate? The DOJ says it's looking into these IRS allegations. Do you think that's a good enough source of investigation? Do you think it should be more broad? And again, try to keep it tight so we can give Congressman Franks a chance as well.
Well, I think the Inspector General has done an outstanding job, has given us good, solid information. I don't think anybody have really questioned that much what the Inspector General has done. And so I think that's a good enough investigation with what Congress itself is going to be doing. We know that there will be investigations in oversight and government reform. We also know that the chairman of this committee is always eager to subpoena records and that kind of thing. So I think the investigatory pieces are in place, and we'll get the information that would tell us the truth.
Okay, Congressman Franks, are you satisfied?
Well, I think Danny is basically correct. We're going in the right direction. But here's it's important to keep in mind, Congress has now introduced a bill to say that any administrative subpoenas like the one that the Justice Department issued to check these AP records is no longer going to be without judicial review. We need independent accountability, and then hopefully the facts will lead where they will. It's important that Americans make sure that we're protecting our liberties now for this and future generations.
All right, Congressman Davis, Congressman Franks, we appreciate your time, both of you,
Thank
and
you.
We'll keep an eye, as you will, as this plays out. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, according to the head of the AP, the